Whoever hurt Debbie Collier remains at large.
Reporter Room with Jessica Della Davies starts now.
It's great to see you. Welcome to Reporter Room. We are talking today about the why, so we can figure out who. Today, we're going to be talking about the case of Debbie Collier. Specifically, we're going to deep dive into Amanda Beardman, who is Debbie's daughter, and her live-in boyfriend, Andrew. Now, Amanda Beardman and her boyfriend Andrew do not have a great track record. And let's just say that there's a lot of integrity issues there. And that's a polite way of saying it. Amanda has been charged with filing a false police complaint. And this explains why Amanda may have been reluctant to call 911 herself and instead put up Steve and Debbie's sister to do it. Apparently, Amanda falsely accused her live-in boyfriend, Andrew, of burgling her home. But law enforcement found that nothing had been taken, and this is why she was charged with filing a false police report. So she also told Debbie's sister to call the 911, and I've played both of those recordings, both Steve's recording and Debbie's recording, to you on prior videos. So you might want to check those out next. So Andrew doesn't have a great track record either. He has a criminal background, including DV and violating probation related to substances. And I'm watching my words here. And I'm going to talk more about Debbie's husband and Amanda in just a moment, so please stay with me. Everything I'm sharing with you today is my opinion, and opinions are not facts. So please don't send any negativity to anyone, anytime, anywhere. Let's be kind and good to each other. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss an upload or a live stream, and give this video a thumbs up so I know you were here. Together, we're going to get this case solved. I think we have a lot of the pieces of the puzzle. So in Sunday's live stream, we talked about the bizarre Venmo message, and we also discussed the strange location that Debbie was found in. Debbie was found over 60 miles away from her home, and she apparently drove by 9 other dollar stores to go to a dollar store that was not anywhere near where she lived. Even more bizarre thing, she appears to have bought the torch lighter, which was later used on her and her belongings. So why was Debbie in this remote area, and what connection does it have to Amanda and her live-in boyfriend? Well, there is a connection. So let's just go through a couple of things, and then I'm going to tie it all up in a bow for you. So at 2:17 p.m., Debbie's rental vehicle, and remember, she was driving a rental vehicle because her car was in the shop, was caught on camera near Tallulah Falls. And this is really unusual because there is a 15-minute or so gap between when Debbie was caught on this camera in Tallulah Falls and arriving at the dollar store. So what was she doing during this time? And why did she pass 9 other dollar stores to go to this particular dollar store? Again, 60 miles from her house. There's no way she would have saved money by going to this dollar store. She would have spent a lot of money on gas to get there. But hang on, because it's really interesting. So now, if you didn't see my live stream, I want to watch that next, because we go into detail together as a YouTube community to try to solve this case. The dollar store video picks up Debbie arriving at the entrance around 2:55 p.m. And while she's in there, you can see her demeanor is calm, cool, collected. She doesn't appear stressed or nervous at all. We don't see her looking around. She could have asked the cashier for help, but she doesn't. So Debbie leaves the store. And then at 3:17 p.m., she sends a Venmo with $2,385 to her daughter Amanda Beardman, along with this bizarre message. They are not going to let me go. Love you. There is a key to the house in the blue flower pot. Now, if you got this message from your mother, along with $2,385, and the message said they're not going to let me go, would you call the police? Would you call 911? Would you try to call your mother? What did Amanda do when she received this bizarre message from Debbie? Well, if Amanda had tried to call Debbie, she would have learned that the call wouldn't have gone through because Debbie's phone was switched off right after she sent this money and that bizarre message. And around 3:19 p.m., Debbie's vehicle heads south. But what's really crazy is that Debbie's vehicle was found on the northbound side of the highway, not the southbound side. So she made a U-turn. So Debbie's vehicle was located on September 11th, just off of Highway 23, and about 15 minutes, and that's around 13 miles, south of the dollar store. So Sergeant Neal is the police officer who found Debbie Collier, and I give him so many props for locating her vehicle. And her rental car was parked in what appears to be some kind of a pull-off road that he describes as a logging road. So another police officer did spot Debbie's vehicle one day prior on September 10th, and he said it was around 1700. So, and I just want to be clear that 1700 on September 10th would have put it around 5 p.m. So he saw her vehicle around 5 p.m. on September 10th. So let's see if we can link this location to Amanda and her boyfriend Andrew. And one question I have is it possible that Debbie stopped at this very same location on her way to the dollar store? And does this account for the missing 15 minutes where she was caught on camera to when she arrives at the dollar store? But it gets even crazier. So let's keep going, shall we? Grizzly True Crime stated that she had one of her viewers add up the cost of Andrew's legal troubles, and it amounted to $2,385 exactly. So if you look at the location of where Debbie's car is, you can see that there is a rehab nearby. This money had been for treatment at this residential center for someone like Andrew or Amanda, allegedly, if they needed it? Or was this simply a known location to someone who was familiar with this rehab before? 6 months of treatment at this rehab runs you around $2,850. So that does not line up precisely with the $2,385 that was sent via the Venmo. But I'm wondering if she was helping someone get treatment, or maybe she stopped to find out about getting someone treatment. In September, a few days after Debbie was found alone in the woods, charred, with her belongings burned beside her, including the stuff she got at the dollar store, Andrew was arrested. So he was arrested for violating his probation, and as I shared with you in the live stream, he does have a history of DV, so this is not a good guy, in my opinion. So from September 16th to September 21st, he was in jail. So why was he there? Well, Andrew was supposed to be seeking some kind of rehab, and according to court records, he was supposed to show proof of a substance abuse treatment, but he didn't do this. So he was released on September 21st, and he returned home. In August, he was supposed to produce proof of treatment and report to a lab for drug testing, and he did not do this. Things are not looking so great for Andrew right now. Now, Andrew does deny that he does any kind of substances, but the court does not take his word for it. He would have to prove it, and he did not prove it. So why? And is this related to where Debbie's van was found? Because her van was found just before you enter the grounds for this rehab center. So is there a connection to the Venmo amount of $2,385 and Amanda Bearden's live-in boyfriend, Andrew. So now, going through this Venmo message, I think most of us would agree that if we received a message like this saying they're not going to let me go, that we would definitely be calling 911 to try to find out about our mother or loved one. However, Amanda does not do this. Instead, she waits for Debbie's husband, her stepfather, to return home from parking cars at the big game and has him call 911. Played Steve's 911 call during the live stream, and you could hear he does not sound that concerned. And I think there's a couple of things going on because he has been ruled out. First of all, Steve wouldn't have had any big alarm bells going off because he probably doesn't believe anything happened to Debbie. In fact, he may not believe anything Amanda has to say to him. Second, he is hard of hearing, so he was struggling to hear the 911 operator. And it could be, and some of you have brought this up in the comment section, that you believe that maybe it's something more nefarious with him. However, law enforcement has ruled him out because they have him on camera parking cars. Subscribe.